Good afternoon, Bay Nation. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bay. I'm your host, Mike Williams, and this is my co-host, Geoffrey.
Good afternoon, Bay Nation.
Today, we will be going over the Thursday night matchup, the Cleveland Browns versus Cincinnati Bengals. Both of these teams suffered a loss. One was much closer than the other, though. My goodness. Browns got blown out. Oh, it was embarrassing. Baker looked terrible. I'll get to all that in a second. So, let's head down to the stadium and get started with this matchup.
I'm on it, sir. Here we go.
We have the two first overall picks starting at quarterbacks, and we're going to start with the home team. Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Man, he is not looking as advertised. Being drafted as high as he was, Cleveland really thought they had a franchise quarterback. But man, he is disappointing recently. Last year he looked terrible. I had high hopes for him coming in this year, and yes, I know they were playing the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are absolutely fantastic offensively and defensively. But man, Baker was just making terrible throws, overthrowing people, underthrowing people, it was just not good. It was very bad. But long season ahead. As of right now, you're not starting him in your fantasy lineup, so let's skip right past him. Alright, next we're going to go to the wide receiver position. Odell Beckham Jr. had 10 targets. I like that. I love that, actually. But 3 receptions. He only had like 22 yards. That was terrible. Not a big fan of his production. Yes, Baltimore is fantastic, but him and Baker do not seem to be on the same page. They just can't sync up their route/passes. It's just not looking good for them. That being said, Jarvis Landry, less targets, but more receptions. It looks like him and Baker are a little more on the same page. Yes, Jarvis Landry got there a year earlier, but you would assume that with an offseason, Baker and Odell would get on the same page. As of right now, that's not showing on the field. That being said, I think both of them are solid flex plays. I think that Jarvis Landry is safer, but Odell Beckham, it's always hard for me to count him out, even though he has not shown that he is going to be the Odell Beckham of old. But I think you can play Odell as a low-end wide receiver 2, if not a flex play, and Jarvis Landry can be a flex play, assuming that he comes into the week healthy. Alright, next we're going to go to the running back position. We have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I remember last week I was going to be looking at the breakdown of who got more touches and how this backfield looked. Well, they were playing Baltimore, so they were kind of getting dominated for the most part. They were down early by a lot. Kareem Hunt got more carries and more targets and more receptions. That being said, a lot of people thought that Chubb was going to dominate coming into this role, and I was not of that opinion. I just don't think that Kareem Hunt is that far below Nick Chubb. I just don't think so, and I don't think the coaching staff thinks so. Kareem Hunt is extremely talented, and it shows that they're going to utilize both of these running backs. Now, last week when you're getting dominated, yeah, Kareem Hunt's going to definitely be in the ball game more. He catches the ball. He's versatile. The defense doesn't know what you're going to do with him. He's going to catch it. He's going to run it. Nick Chubb is more of a, you know what you're going to get. He's going to run the ball. He's going to run it very efficiently and effectively, but he's going to run the ball. He's not very much of a pass catcher. I'm interested to see what the breakdown is this week. Is it trending more towards an even split, more towards Kareem Hunt, or Nick Chubb taking back the role. So I'm looking forward to that this week. Next, I'm not starting tight end on the Browns. Yeah, Austin Hooper, but I'm really not starting him. I want to see it before I trot him out into my lineup. And defense, I don't want to necessarily play the defense on either of these teams, actually, and neither with the kicker. All right, next, let's go on to the Cincinnati Bengals and the new first overall pick, Joe Burrow. He had some solid plays last week, but he also had some rookie mistakes. One of which, he shovel passed it straight into the defender's arms. Inexcusable. I couldn't believe that he did it. But you know what? He's a rookie, and I actually really like him. I think that he has potential moving forward. That being said, we're not starting him, so let's keep it moving. Next, we're going to talk about the wide receiver position. I think that AJ Green looked very good last week. Coming off of injury from last year, he didn't play at all last year, and he got dinged up the year before that. He looked very good, and that has me in a very good mood because I have AJ Green almost everywhere I could get him. I have him in 4 of 6 leagues. Fantastic. I think that he's going to be great long term, and in this game, I have him as a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end flex play. Tyler Boyd, I think that you can play him as well as a flex play. I don't see him as anything more than that as of right now, but moving forward, I do think that the talent of Tyler Boyd can be utilized more. I'm just not there yet. I need to see it before I'm putting him into my lineup. Next, we have the running back position. Yes, I know Joe Mixon did not have a great game, but he did dominate the running back touches with 19. He had a fumble, which was one of his first fumbles in forever. He's going to get the work. I definitely think you can still start him. Fire him up. He's a start this week for sure. Next, we're going to talk about the tight end position. I'm not starting one of their tight ends. I'm not starting the defense, and I'm not starting the kicker. All right. The spread for this game is -5.5 Cleveland, or 6, depending on where you're looking at your spreads. Ooh, will the Browns win by 6 or more points? No. I think that Joe Burrow is not going to lose by almost a touchdown. I don't know if they're going to win this game, but they're definitely going to be competitive. And, man, Baker Mayfield is not looking good. Joe Burrow wasn't looking fantastic. First game in the NFL. I definitely think that he settles in, and I think he can do a little bit of work. That's going to do it. Geoffrey, what do you got?
This is a big game. Starting 0-2 in the division is going to make it a tough road to make the playoffs.
All right. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.